Man legally changed gender to gain custody of his kids. Trans groups are concerned. I'm going to be really bad at pronunciation again, famously bad at pronunciation. Renee Salinas Ramos says the legal change is an attempt to gain full custody of his daughters because Ecuadorian law favors mothers in custody battles. Ecuadorian? There's no I there, so I'm guessing it's Ecuadorian. There's our fellow. A cisgender man in Ecuador legally changed his gender to female in an attempt to gain custody of his 2 daughters. But LGBTQ groups are concerned about the man's use of a law designed to promote transgender rights and what effect it could have in the future. Renee Salinas Ramos, 47, told local media that the change was not related to his sexuality or identity, but rather that the Ecuadorian legal system gives preferable rights to mothers over fathers when it comes to the custody of children. The laws say that the one who has the right is the woman. As of this moment, I am female. Now I'm also a mom. That's how I consider myself, Salinas Ramos told La Voz del Tomibaba. I'm so sorry. Outside the Civil Registry Office on December 30th in the city of Cuenca. I apologize so deeply for my mispronunciation. I am very sure of my sexuality. What I have sought is that I want to be a mother so that I can give the love and protection of a mother. Salinas Ramos alleged that his daughters live in an abusive environment with their mother, and he hasn't seen his children in over 5 months. Being a father in this country, Ecuador, is punished, and I'm only seen as a provider, said Salinas Ramos. But the man's legal change from male to female has surprised and concerned LGBTQ activists who fought to have the Ecuadorian laws changed in 2015 to allow the change of gender. This man's private matter to obtain custody of his daughters isn't the spirit of the law, Diane Rodriguez, one of Ecuador's most prominent trans activists and the national director of the Ecuadorian Federation of Organizations LGBTI, told Vice World News. Rodriguez, who became Ecuador's first trans assemblyperson from 2018 to 2021, and also helped spearhead the 2015 law, said that, with her understanding of the law, a judge would certainly not give custody because of a change of gender, because it does not make sense that you changed your gender in the identity document without being a trans person, only with the objective of taking advantage to obtain custody. The concept seemed so outlandish at first that Rodriguez admitted that when she saw it in the local press, she thought it was fake news. But after realizing the man had legally changed his gender, the Ecuadorian Federation of Organizations LGBTI released a statement denouncing the change on Tuesday. We are afraid that in the assembly, things will go backwards and they will start legislating against us, she said. Rodriguez explained that the 2015 law created an unintended consequence because, while it allowed people to legally change their gender on Ecuadorian documents, it didn't allow them to change their sex on government-issued documents that are recognized globally, such as passports. This, in effect, meant that trans people needed to have 2 different legal documents, one that defined their preferred gender identity, and one that defined their sex by birth. In May, trans activists reached a major milestone when the Assembly ratified a previous 2018 legal decision that allowed a trans man to legally change his sex. That ratification created a legal precedent where the Assembly had 9 months to legislate and potentially approve a law that would allow the change of a person's sex. So, what is happening at this moment with Salinas Ramos could cause a change of criteria of some Assembly members for the change of sex in the identity card of trans people, said Rodriguez. They now only have 1 month to process this law. That is our current fear. Seemingly expecting the backlash, Salinas Ramos told the publication that his decision is not against a person, not to harm anyone, but rather to fight against the system that has stigmatized the fact of being born a man. But Rodriguez doubted that the man's legal change to female would help him beyond added publicity to his case. The law doesn't say anything about the best interests of children, she said. I understand that in his situation, in desperation, he chose to change the gender on the identity document, but no, it won't have any effect. Yeah, it won't. Oh, I remember having a discussion with someone about men's rights. and how men are stigmatized and face so much discrimination for being a man. And I'm going to tell you this. We all have our struggles. We all deal with things that we wish we didn't have to. I would ask that, the cis men have a little bit of perspective and understand that the things that they have to struggle with pale in comparison to some of the things that women have to struggle with on a daily basis. That trans people have to struggle with on a daily basis. That gay people and lesbians and non-binary people and intersex people have to struggle with on a daily basis. I would simply ask that you take a moment to gain some perspective and understand that, yes, we are all in this together, and the only thing that can bring a more just and peaceful world for all of us is working together and not constantly fighting about who has it worse. Okay? Okay.